Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about Afnan's Supremacy, not only intense. Stick around. So, first off, let's just talk a little bit about this bottle, the presentation, because out of all the bottles I have, this is probably one of the worst ones for fingerprints, man. I mean, I just wiped this off right before I did this video. You can't really see, but yeah, it's, you can kind of see the smudginess to it. I mean, this thing collects your fingerprints like nobody's business. I mean, this is definitely not a fragrance you want to have with you when you're robbing a bank and you spray it and everyone can smell you, and then you put this down and then the cops are just going to take the prints off it and then you're busted, okay? So just don't do that, all right? Anyways, let's get back to this. This is supposed to be a fragrance that is in a vibe of Creed Aventus. Obviously, everyone's heard that name for the most part if you know anything about fragrances. And, you know, everyone's beaten that fragrance up with the stick. So everyone's got some sort of dupe version of their own version and all this blah, blah, blah. Who gives a crap? But I'm talking about this because I was once a Armoff Club de Nuit person back in the day when it first came out in the late 2020s. I guess it wasn't, or not 2020, sorry. Like 28, I feel like it was like 2018, maybe 2017. I don't know exactly when it came out, the original one. Before they started releasing like EDPs and all that stuff. I had the original one, and it, you know, it smelled insane on the dry down, but like that first verse for the first hour where it smelled like lemon pledge was pretty intense. That was probably one of the reasons why I ended up always getting rid of it. Went through about half the bottle. You know, many years go by, and then I decided to get this guy. I mean, this is a 2021 release. I bought this a couple years ago, so still late to the party, but you know, in a sense, I kind of missed the vibe of the Creed Aventus. You know, I'm not gonna go out and spend like, I don't even know how much that Creed Aventus stuff goes for, but I'm not gonna spend that kind of money on a fragrance because, you know what, man, I would rather have more variety. I'd rather drop, you know, I'd rather get like 10 bottles of something than spend 500 on one, right? And especially if you don't have an opportunity to smell it, that's a huge gamble to go and do that. Like, it's so much easier to, you know, buy a bunch of cheap ones and then, you know, try your luck and then resell them for a little bit cheaper. You're not going to lose. You know, you buy something expensive, higher chance you're going to lose. Anyways, let's get back to a few of the notes on here. So I'll let you know what this kind of smells like if you're unfamiliar. So you got, in the opening, you've got blackcurrant, apple, bergamot. That's going to give you like a fruity, juicy smell. It is sharp, and I do find that for a tiny bit of time, there is still like a tiny bit of synthetic smell. It's not bad, but it's not as bad as like, you know, Armoff CDM or whatever it is, Club de Nuit. Yeah, I can't even speak, but whatever. Anyways, let's go back to the mid. So in the mid, you're going to get patchouli, lavender, oak moss. That's going to show up after the half an hour, and that's going to go on for another couple hours, maybe even up to 4. Not really sure. So, but I do know in the dry down, this is way down, at least 3 hours down. You're going to get ambergris, musk, saffron, and oak moss. It's going to remain. That's going to give you this musky, woody, slightly sweet amber and smoky scent. I do find though that this projects like, it says 2 to 4. I get a solid 2 hours of projection. So don't overspray. Never overspray around your front area as it wafts in your face and kind of chokes you out, because this stuff is pretty brutal. It does smell nice. I do find though, surprisingly, this does sit closer to the skin after, I would say, after the mid. So like, you're gonna get that projection for the first couple hours, and then after that, it's just gonna kind of just, in my opinion, it just sits closer. So I do find if you do spray this more so on your clothes than your skin, it's gonna last a bit longer, and you're probably gonna get wafts of it more so throughout the day as you would if you just sprayed it only on your skin. So, you know, this is a great fragrance. I mean, I really dig it. This is definitely a fragrance, like if you're unfamiliar with fragrances that are a bit smoky, this is a great one to get because you got a bit of fruit, a bit of smoke, a bit of musk. You know, it's got basically all the elements that you would want in a manly smell that doesn't smell bad. Like, this smells good. This is some great stuff. Overall, I feel like this is a great one to get. Price point $60 to $90. I got this off of eBay. I did get this off of, I believe it was Fragrance Buy. They do have an eBay store. So sometimes if you go on there, you can get a little bit of a cheaper deal when you're only buying one fragrance. Sometimes I find if you're buying multiple and then plus shipping, it adds up. But sometimes if you go on the eBay store, sometimes it's cheaper. And I believe I paid something, I don't think I paid more than $60 for this. And I do feel like this is worth it for what you're getting, the oils they use, all that, projection, longevity, everything. I just feel like it's great, right? Longevity, you're getting like anywhere between 8 to 12. I get a solid 8. And, projection, you're getting 2 to 4 hours. So like overall, this is a great fragrance. Don't overspray. This is definitely something you don't want to wear too much in the summer. I probably wouldn't wear this in the summer at all. In my opinion, I wear it in spring, fall, winter. You probably could go a bit heavier in the cooler weather, but like I said, just don't spray a lot around your neck because you will choke yourself out. Like usually when something projects for 2 hours plus, like you're going to be smelling it, right? And it's going to get heavy, and that can throw anyone off of a fragrance, even yourself. So it sucks if you get something you really enjoy and then you kind of overspray and you like make yourself sick, because that's just kind of stupid. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Check me out in the future. Peace out.